everyone. It is Thursday and we are here live on Facebook. So let me go ahead and share out a few things. I need to find all the pages because it's just so wonky how this is set up. But I hope everyone's having a great Thursday. We're going to be doing some fun things today. And I got to ask you a question, especially because it is Thursday and we're feeding our budget. As you can tell, I'm pretty tired, so hopefully my brain isn't firing too slow. But what I need to ask you is your business making money? Is your business making money? So we're going to talk about that today. So let me go ahead and get this started, share this out, get a couple of people to join us, get a couple of folks to come and join this little party over here. But how is your Thursday going? I mean, it's almost the end of the week. Tomorrow is Fun Friday. And I just want to know, how's it going? How's it going? So let's go ahead and share this over to our beautiful friends over at Budget School, so that they'll know what's happening, and we'll share it out to my personal page. Yay. Share it out. It's Thursday and I am thirsty. Ooh. All right. That is Heather, y'all. She is thirsty. So that means it's time to make some money. It is Feed Your Budget Thursday. So we're going to talk about feeding your budget, but I got to ask you the question. Are you making money in your business? This is something nobody ever really wants to talk about. So let me go ahead and get this started over on Instagram. So nobody ever really wants to talk about this. Nobody really wants to answer this question out loud in a public forum. So for those of you who are tuning in, I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. I come to you live every morning and I answer any questions you have about business, budgeting, and solo entrepreneurship. And I give you tons of unsolicited financial advice. And today is Feed Your Budget Thursday, and we're going to talk about how you are feeding your budget for your business. Remember, we talk about two things here. We talk about managing the budget and feeding the budget, because I always say you cannot have a healthy functioning budget unless you have money coming in from your business, okay? Even if you don't have a business, you cannot have a budget if you have nothing coming in. That's just called overspending. It's called overspending and survival mode. So we're going to talk about that. So for all of my solo entrepreneurs, freelancers, business owners today, I got you. And this is what we're going to talk about. So let me turn my sound down. So I got to say a nice good morning to Heather. How you doing? Now, I come to you live here on Facebook.com// Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. And I also come live over on Instagram at Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. So I also want to tell you that I do one-on-one jumpstart coaching sessions, 45 minutes, you and me. The cost is $100 and the price is about to go up. This has been a very popular service, and it's time to raise the roof a little bit. So in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be raising the prices. So if you do want to jump in and have a session with me, I am more than willing and able and ready to talk to you. So ready to talk to you. Just did a session with Miss Heather the other day. It was so much fun. These sessions are so much fun for me, and I try to over deliver as much as I possibly can. If it's around money, around getting speaking gigs, around thinking outside of the box, outside of that box, or where you can find work to fill your business. So if you want to do a jumpstart session, all you got to do is go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. I can't say my slashes today. /jumpstart. Or you can go to the beautiful book now button over on facebook.com/keepupwithmrsjones. And for those of you on Instagram, all you got to do is go check the link in the bio. So before we get started, I definitely got to welcome all of the folks who are listening at home or on the treadmill to the podcast. So if you didn't know that Ask the Budgetologist is a podcast, well, I'm telling you now, it is a podcast. So if you can't watch me live, you can't be here live, you don't have connectivity to Facebook or Instagram, all you have to do is go over to iTunes or your favorite media player and download Ask the Budgetologist. There's a whole bunch of shows, and it'll keep you busy on all the treadmills that you're on. So we're going to talk about that. So now that you know, let's get straight into today's topic. Are you making money in your business? That's all I really want to know. Are you making money? And if you're not, it's okay. It's okay. But we're going to talk about what might be getting in your way from making money in your business right now. That's what we're going to talk about. But the first step is you have to acknowledge whether or not you are making money. Now, what happens to a lot of us, we talked about this earlier in the week. We talked about paying for coaching programs. We're talking about how we are the CFOs and CEOs of our business. But what we really don't want to say out loud when we join a coaching program, when we get mentorship, we don't really admit that we're struggling. We're struggling on the back end. We're struggling trying to get clients. We're struggling trying to make money. We're struggling trying to keep money. But what we're doing is that we keep buying things that'll probably get us there. They'll probably get us there. But I really want to talk about what might be getting in your way from making money in your business. And here's the big old fat hint. You're probably being distracted with non-income producing activities. Now, I learned this from my mentor a few years ago, IPAs. Now, it's also a beer, so it took me a while to understand what she was saying because my husband drinks IPAs, or no, he doesn't. He likes breweries, so we do beer tasting, and IPAs always come up. And so when my mentor was saying IPAs, I was like, I'm not understanding this because it sounds like beer to me. So, and then she really broke down that IPAs are income producing activities. Income producing activities. Now, it's really hard in our business sometimes to understand what's an income producing activity and what's a non-income producing activity. Because sometimes we can trick ourselves into saying posting on social media is an income producing activity. But sometimes it really isn't. Now, unless you are one of those that are manipulating ads and, you have people coming into Facebook groups that are monetized, whole different ball game. But some of us are just posting cute quotes, quotes of somebody on the beach saying, live your best life. That is not an income producing activity. Here's another non-income producing activity that we can confuse with income producing. Working on our website. Everybody, I meet so many people. I need to work on my website. I can't get a speaking gig until I work on my website. I can't get a new client until I work on my website. I can't do what I need to do until I work on my website. All right. Distractions. All right. Here's another one that you might find yourself getting stuck in. I got to develop my brand. I know. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. There are people out there who are making money, developing websites, helping you with your brand strategy. No hate whatsoever. But I'm talking to you today. And if you're having this issue and you're consistently not making money in your business, I need you to start paying attention to this and developing your brand, redeveloping your brand, reimagining your brand, rebranding are all distractions from you making money. Okay? They are all distractions from you making money. Now, for those of you who are watching, I don't know, for those of you watching the replay, if you're watching live, thank you so very much. Oh, I appreciate you being here, but I want you to ask yourself for real, like, are you being distracted when it comes to making money? Are you stressed out? Being stressed out and being desperate about money actually is a distraction. You'll be surprised. It really is a distraction. If you are just like so desperate for money, you are distracted by the desperation and you're probably still not doing what you need to do. Now, on Tuesdays, I talk about landing speaking gigs. My little side hustle is that I help speakers find gigs and I coach on that as well. And I see this a lot, especially when people say that they want more speaking gigs on their calendar. Now, I train that speaking is one of the best ways to generate new clients and build up your authority. But when I talk to some people, it's just like, well, I got to go work on my talk. I got to go work on the PowerPoint slides. Hey, Paul, how you doing over on Instagram? Paul's my lovely friend over in the UK. Paul, we got to chat. Oh, my gosh. Big revelation. You'll love it. Today, Paul, we're at answering the question, are you making money in your business and what's distracting you from getting there? So we've already talked about income producing activities and non-income producing activities. And too many of us are being distracted by non-income producing activities. And so I was telling you about speakers who want more speaking gigs and they work on their PowerPoint slides. They work on their websites. They work on their talks, they work on speaker one sheets. The one thing that they're not working on is actually going out and landing the gigs. Landing the gigs is an income producing activity. Your speaker one sheet, although necessary and you need it, is not an income producing activity. It's something that you put on the side, but you got to start focusing. You got to start focusing on things that will move your business forward and things that will get you paid. So what I want you to do today is that I want you to get a sheet of paper, get an ink pen. We're not doing this on a computer or anything. Get a sheet of paper, get an ink pen, and I want you to write at the top the name of your business. And I want you to draw a line down the middle and have 2 columns. And I want one that's things that will get me paid, things that don't get me paid. And I want you to just put the things that you do each day in each and divide and conquer. Divide and conquer and write down the things that will get you paid and the things that won't get you paid. And both sides of this list, and just keep going. And you'll be surprised. And if you get confused of which ones aren't things that are going to get you paid or which ones will get you paid, just come back. I can answer that question for you. Put your questions in the comment box. Please, I am here to help you whatever way I can. But what happens is that we do a lot of things. We do a lot of things in that things that won't get me paid column. And we get distracted by them and we go around in circles and in circles and in circles. And then we wake up 3 months later and we haven't gotten paid yet. Remember, my mentor has always told me, and I'm telling you, what you do in these 90 days, you will see the benefit and or the reward of it in the next 90 days. So if for 90 days you are hanging out in a column of things that won't get you paid, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised 90 days later if you haven't gotten paid. Don't be surprised if you had a rough quarter. That's just how it works. And you got to really pay attention to that, okay? You got to pay attention. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Hey, Joseph, we're talking about things that get us paid and things that won't get us paid. So I really want you to look at that column of things that won't get me paid, okay? And I want you to just have an honest evaluation with yourself, because I'm pretty certain that that column of things that won't get me paid is a lot bigger than the things that will get me paid. Here's an example of things that will get you paid. Searching for speaking gigs, doing sales calls, doing your follow-up strategy to close sales. Yeah, that's about it. No, there's tons of other things, but those are the things that actively get you paid. Getting someone on the phone, sending someone invoices. Oh, and here's the other thing, getting people to pay you, sending out invoices. A lot of us are doing a lot of free work over here. A lot of us are doing tons of free work and not getting paid on it. And I did meet someone who said, oh yeah, I just forgot to send out invoices. Those are things that will get you paid. These are activities that will get you paid. Asking for the sale, meeting new clients, asking for new referrals, following up with new referrals, engaging with clients. Those are things that will get you paid. Okay. Example of activities that won't get you paid. To be honest, your website. There are very few people I know who said, I went to your website and I bought instantly. Now, of course, I'm saying this in a vacuum. It really depends on what your business is. I do know that a lot of the people that watch are consultants and coaches. And the way we get business is that we got to go, I hate this term, but belly to belly. That's kind of gross to me. Like, ugh. But face to face, belly to belly, in-person connections, getting on the phone call, influencing. Those are the things that really help us get in front of people to help us get paid. And the website is just an activity. And if it's taking 6 months to work on your website, to work on your sales pitch, to work on the wording, it's going to take too long, okay? You got to really start looking at these things. Your website shouldn't take forever for you to work on. It shouldn't take forever for you to work on. All right? Playing around with your social media profiles. Like I said, I'm doing this in a vacuum. These things work. Hey, Shelby, how you doing over in Budget School? These things work, but these are just distractions to get you to what's really going to get you paid today. And what I see is that a lot of people spend a lot of time worrying about their social media feed, worrying about their social media profiles, worrying about their website, worrying about things like worrying about speaker reels for my speakers out there. To be honest, I still don't have a speaker reel. I have been blessed to land 60. As of this moment, my total count of speaking gigs is 68. 68 total, and I might be off. It might be around 70. I might be off a little bit. So far this year, I've completed 15 speaking gigs, and I have 6 more that just came in the last month. I don't have a speaker reel. Not until last year, I didn't have a video of me even speaking. Now, what I do is that I invite people to see me that have stages. Now, that's the best way. That's like a real life speaker reel. But it's a thing. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to a speaker reel. Now, where I'm about to go, I'm going to need one, whole different ballgame. But it wasn't the thing that got me gigs. It wasn't the thing that got me clients. Actually calling people, reaching out to people, doing the research, asking for my next gig. That's what got me booked for gigs. And it's the same. It's no different than when you have clients. It's the same thing, okay? You got to actively be out there looking for clients, being in front of them, talking to people so that you can get get paid. I have a client who networks 12 times in a month. 12 times in a month. But then sometimes gets very surprised when she's not making money because she's out there. Networking is great. Networking is great. It's great. But you got to be home to actually do the work to close and convert people. Okay? Especially if your business is not passive. With coaches and consultants, our businesses are not passive. We can't just go talk about what we do, give somebody a link and they purchase. We actually got to get them on the phone, tell them how we're doing things so that we can send them a contract and they can close. That's not very passive. That is extremely active. And if we're out there doing all these things that distract us, we're not here doing the active things that will get us paid. So like I told you, I want you to create this list. Get a sheet of paper and a pen. Draw a line down the middle. The first column is going to be things that get me paid. The next column, things that won't get me paid. Or you can do it active versus passive. Actively getting me paid, passively getting me paid. And what I really want you to do is stay in that actively getting me paid mode. That's how you're going to answer this question going forward of when someone says, are you making money in your business? One column is a yes. The other column is not so much or no. Hey, CC Wild Bunch, how you doing over on Instagram? We're answering the question, are you not making money in your business and what you can do? All right. So I want you to think about that. If you have any questions, let me know. Seriously, if you have any questions about any of this, let me know. But because what I want you to do is really start looking at what is making you money right now. Now, the 15th is coming up. I talk about the 1st and the 15th all the time. 1st and the 15th all of the time. And the 15th is when we actually do some very active CFO work, okay? And if the 15th is coming up and we are not making money, there's no income flow, I want you to go and look at these 2 lists. Look at these 2 lists and tell me where you're spending the majority of your time. If you're spending a majority of your time in the passive, not making money list, we need to switch that over. We need to switch that over really, really fast, okay? So that's all I have for you today. I don't need a whole hour or 30 minutes to tell you to get off your butt and make money. No, I don't. But I will tell you this. If you need help with anything, if you honestly need help with anything, I am here for you. Put your questions down in the comment box on Instagram or here on Facebook, and I will make sure an answer magically appears. If it's time for you and I to have a one-on-one session, all you got to do is go to that beautiful book now button over on facebook.com/Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. For those of you on Instagram, all you got to do is check the link in the bio, or you can go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. I really do want you to be successful, but I really do want you to pay attention. Pay attention of where you're spending your time, what's going to make you money, and what's not going to make you money. This is going to be critical to the survival of your budget. Critical to the survival of your budget. And if your budget is hanging on by strings and twigs and wire, that means you need to go do something to feed it more often. So that's all I have for you. I'm actually going to go take off. I need to do a lot of income producing activities today because I have quite a few interviews and things coming up. And I have a brand new idea. You'll have to join me on Behind the Scenes Saturday. Some new stuff is coming up. All right, tomorrow is Friday, and we're going to crash budget for a conference. We are knee deep in conference season, and people are knee deep in debt paying for them. So we're going to talk about how to crash budget for a conference. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. Mountain Time-ish. I'll be up. So I'm going to sign off on Instagram for all of you. Paul, thank you so very much for tuning in and engaging. I appreciate you. See you bright and early tomorrow morning. Happy budgeting. Bye. For those of you still here on Facebook, you know I appreciate you. For all of you who are going to watch the replay, who respond later, I appreciate every last one of you. I want you to have an amazing Thursday. Take care. Happy budgeting. And go download the podcast. Yeah, you need more podcasts in your life. And I'm going to give you a sneak preview. Got to tell you, we're doing podcast week here next month on Ask the Budgetologist. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I'll give you more details on that next week. Take care. Happy budgeting. Bye.